Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and today I am going to be doing something really fun, and this video has been in the works for far too long. Welcome to the Hytale community's tier list. Alright, so before we get started, I am going to leave the link to this tier list in the description down below. And, you know, these videos have been getting pretty popular lately. And, you know, there's a lot of communities that have sprung up that are pre-Hytale release. And today, I am going to be ranking which ones I think are the best, which ones I think need some work. And before I even start, just because I rated something low does not mean that I hate them or the creators. I know for a fact that there's people behind all of these communities, and I don't want them to take offense for a low rating. I will give them the suggestions that they could need to take their project up to the next level. And that being said, let's get going. Oh, and I don't represent Blockshot in any of these, alright? This is me, personally, ThirtyVirus, my opinions, and I just would really like to clarify, alright, that no, I am not going to be using this video to hate on people. I personally think everybody on this list has great potential to do something for the Hytale community, except for a couple, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Alright, so where to start? So let's just make one thing clear, right? Yeah? Alright, so let's start with Hytale Workshop. I think this is a fun little Discord. I've been a part of it for a long time. There's some great people there, and all the time you would see model maker projects. You would see things like, for example, this is where I met a lot of the people in the Blockshot team, actually. And most of the Blockshot model makers have actually joined this Discord. They have a great Twitter. They retweet all the best, you know, 3D animated Hytale things. It's a great little community. It doesn't spam your feed. It's nothing but high quality stuff. So I would say that it's easily S tier. Everybody should join this. I'll leave a link to all of these in the description down below. It's going to be a freaking huge list, but yeah, I think that Hytale Workshop is a great little place to hang out and just to see what the community is up to. I hope in the future to see a nice like website maybe showcase all of the different things that people have done in the Hytale community. I think it could really be beneficial to highlight some of the creators out there that are skilled, but they just haven't received any recognition yet. I'm going to get the Hytale Embassy out of the way and put it to unknown. This is a Discord that I made, and frankly, nobody knows it exists other than like select server owners, community leads. The server's kind of dead. Actually, instead of unknown, I'm going to put it to D tier because yeah, again, I made this Discord, but the thing is, the reality is, there's not a lot to talk about. It's a decent idea to have all the owners of every community just kind of chilling in there, and they could have, like, cross-network relations, but to be honest, I don't know, it needs some work. So what I would say, just to keep up the theme with any low-ranking thing, I'd give suggestions. So I would say what that Discord needs most is active moderation. Maybe have some agents in there that are not associated with a network yet, maybe model makers, maybe musicians, maybe developers. Have them be available for commissions, and then the different networks can pick them up, offer pay, that sort of thing. I think that'd be the best potential for this Discord, but for right now, D tier. Let's go for Canadian Flash. So he is a moderator on my Discord, on the Blockshot project. And I think he's got great potential. He does a very similar thing to me. He does commentaries over gameplay. He's a big Blockshot fan, although he does need some work, I would say. So I think the best place to put him would probably be a B tier or a C tier, one of the two. I think there's a lot of improvement to be had. Of course, I like the guy a lot. I like his content. I just think maybe I'll put B tier because some things that can improve, I would say microphone quality. I would say picking more topics. I mean, some of the topics I really like, actually. They're very creative. He actually has a similar idea for a video. He's probably going to meme me. Let's get the meme out of the way. High Potion. All right, so these guys have been through several rebrands lately. Their most recent iteration is Planet Hytale, and they have a cool animation and everything, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm putting F tier. These guys are bot central. There's like 6,000 members in a Discord that I'm pretty sure no one's ever heard of before. I mean, for instance, right, when I joined, there were actually a bunch of bots spamming the chat linking prawn. I'm not going to say the actual word, but, you know, they were linking that. And it took a day for them to be removed. It was not great. So let's go to Hytale News. All right, these guys. So they're very similar to me. They're very similar to Canadian Flash. They do commentaries, they do theories, they do speculation, and most importantly, news. And there's been some controversy with them regarding their staff team, regarding old news. I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, they're a great channel, don't get me wrong. They make a lot of good content. I think, though, when Fezzy the Frog left their team, they really took a big hit in quality, especially in the commentary front. Their edits are decent, but not great. They have, like, a McDonald's style, like, how quickly people leave the team and join. And they have a lot of hype. Back in the day, they were great. They were featured on YouTube Creators on the Rise for gaming, and they had a lot going for them. There was a lot of people on the staff, from Hytale staff, were actually just chilling out in the Discord, but it's fallen from grace quite a bit because of some decisions by their owner, and unfortunately, that is going to land them a C tier, in my opinion. They have some work to do. I think my advice to Hytale News, I love what they're doing. I love the idea. I think the community definitely needs a news source. It's just that you guys need to up your quality. So you already have the subs. You have the backing. You just need a full-time commentator like Fezzy. And I would say better edits. But other than that, yeah, they're good. They just need to increase their quality. And, you know, I think they can shake the drama. That's not going to be a problem for them. Just give it time. So, speaking of Fezzy, let's go to Horizon. All right, so in my opinion, Horizon is what Hytale News used to be. Again, because Fezzy is leading the thing. And it's just awesome quality videos, man. So, they might not have the backing that Hytale News has, but they certainly make up for it in the quality. Honestly, it's like documentary tier. If anybody's ever seen the theories on, like, the God theory, I think is one of them, and the oceans of Hytale, and it just brings, like, a tingle down your spine. It's like, ooh, this is really crazy, and it's exciting, and honestly, I think they could be a great channel in the future for Hytale theories. Since they aren't branded as a news thing, they could certainly do news, but I think their greatest potential is being a theory channel in the future, and maybe even mod showcases, things like that. I have no idea, but I think there's a lot of potential. There's raw talent that is yet to be untapped, but I think it deserves an A tier because it has a lot of potential, just like Hytale News does, but it already has the quality. Let's go Hytale Core. These guys are the OG network. They were one of the first networks to ever announce being a thing. My biggest concern with them is that from what I've seen, they're pretty generic. The last I've heard from them, they plan to be a similar server to what Minecraft has now, something like a factions thing, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember from the last time I saw them. Also, they disappeared for months and then decided to come back. They don't have a lot of hype, especially not anymore. Not a very original idea, so I'm going to have to put them in a D tier. Not quite an F because they're literally not, like, unplayable or like they're literally not a botting central, but they're not that great either, so I'm going to put them in a D tier. My recommendation for them, come up with an original game mode idea, get some hype going. You already have a YouTube channel, but yeah, I would do that. Just, you can't copy Minecraft servers, man. All right, CaptainSparklez. All right, I'm a big fan of this guy. I love his Reddit reaction videos. I used to watch him back in the day for Minecraft stuff. And now he's doing a couple Hytale videos. He's only got, like, maybe maximum 4 or 5 compared to some of these other channels, which have literally 30 plus, including me. So I think what he does is great. The video quality is really up there simply because he's been doing YouTube for like a decade. He brings some new ideas to the table. I really do think he would be a big player in the Hytale space once the game comes out. So I would probably put him at a A or B. I'm going to put him A tier. My only concern with CaptainSparklez and other big creators on this list, I don't want them to overshadow the rest of the people on this list. I mean, I understand that they've already got a massive following and a lot of fans, but I think they have a responsibility almost to help prop up the rest of the community, because when channels like his were coming up, there wasn't that much competition. He was, a new channel in the Minecraft space, and he blew up with the game. And nowadays, YouTube is so saturated that someone like him could completely overshadow all these other channels, and all this talent would just be wasted. So I think he has an obligation. He's not quite S tier. He should help out other communities in the space, and I think that will bring him to an S tier. The original Ace. All right, so fun story with this guy. I met him in a Bed Wars lobby. I was just playing unnicked. I think he beat me. Yeah, he beat me. And then he unnicked. So he was nicked and he beat me. He unnicked and he's like, yo, ThirtyVirus. And then we friended each other, played a few games. I looked at his channel. He's such a meme. It's actually hilarious. He remade the Hytale announcement trailer in Minecraft frame for frame. And this guy doesn't make a lot of videos, but when he does, it's pretty great. So I think that immediately puts him at an A tier, because, I mean, the quality, again, is really high up there, and he's got a huge audience. Okay, let's go to Hytale. So these guys, I actually made a video about them, and their thing is that they plan to make core mods that other people can use to make mods better. I love the idea. For example, right, you have electricity in Minecraft mod packs. If there was a core mod that added electricity in a similar way to Vault adding currency to Spigot servers, I think it would help mod development be much better. And as a mod myself, as a mod developer myself, I could find this being extremely useful. And especially if this gets established early on, it could have exponential effects that can ripple throughout the entire community. And we're talking like everybody. Servers, large YouTubers making videos about servers, custom maps, everything. So I think the potential from Hytale could be huge in making core mods that will literally make the game itself better. So, I mean, some of the stuff they do might actually end up in the game, so I would put them at S tier. My recommendation to them is to keep up the good work, to increase social media presence, to get more mod makers on board. So if you're a developer, I would recommend you join this project. They don't have a lot of staff right now. I would recommend just hanging out there, and then when you get the chance, if you can, make some sort of core mod. It would really be beneficial to the community, and I think it's something that should be propped up. Entity of Sin. I think this guy is actually very similar to Canadian Flash in the way he does his content. We had a few quarrels back in the day on Reddit, but since then we've actually talked it out, and we're cool now. So he used to think I was a clickbait YouTuber that wanted nothing but money, which is a sentiment that a lot of people shared about pretty much every creator back then. But now he manned up and was like, you know what? You're not that bad. You have your flaws, but you're not that bad. Basically was his sentiment. And I really do appreciate it that he gave me a chance and actually objectively looked at my channel. And to him, I would say almost the same thing about Canadian Flash, that the content's good, the ideas are good, just increase the quality a bit. And once the game releases, then there'll be much more stuff for you to do, man. So I'll put you at a B tier. Servertail. All right. Another OG server network. Same thing as Hytale Core in the sense that they're very OG. One of the first networks to come out. And their ideas are, again, not very original. They remind me of Minecraft servers. They actually, in the past, had members that were trying to pluck off staff from my personal project, the Blockshot Network, and I don't appreciate it, but they have since kicked the guy that did that. Although, again, I don't see much in this network. I feel like it's going to be one of the things that just disappears after a while, unless they find something original. So that is why I'm going to put them at D tier along Hytale Core. I just think they need to be creative. HighCast. So Frazier, the person running HighCast, has a bit of a rocky past with Blockshot, but I'm not going to get into it because I do think at some point they could get that fixed. I like the idea. So I think what HighCast is all about, based on what my experience with it, is that they interview big creators in the space and they talk about their stuff. So I think they've done an interview with Kodiak from the Game Gurus. They're planning on doing one with Blockshot, although they're not planning on doing any more until when the game releases, which could be a bit of an issue, but Anyway, I like the idea that it's the official Hytale podcast. It would be kind of cool to talk about just whatever's new. Kind of like Hytale News in the sense that it's like, it could be talking about news, it could be highlighting creators, but it's a longer type of format that's not really a video per se, but it's more of like audio. So I think there's great potential, but they have only got like 3 podcasts and they're going to wait until the game comes out, which is potentially 6 months from now, to do another one. I think what they need to do in the meantime is get that infrastructure up. So get more people on the staff team, make a list of all the people to interview. And I would urge them to make more content pre-release because they will just straight up disappear anyways. But all things considered, a great idea, but they just haven't gone very far with it yet. So I think that deserves a C tier. That's fair. So Slama. Slama is the lead sound artist for Blockshot. So why specifically are they on this separate from Blockshot? Well, the reason why is because they have a YouTube channel of their own and they make the highest quality Hytale fan music that is out there right now. And I love projects like this where there's not necessarily a lot of content, but the quality is ridiculous. And Slama is another example of that, easily A tier. That doesn't take much debate. If you haven't seen Slama's channel, you should definitely check it out. Add it to your playlists, your music playlists, because it's a great listen. And the amount of work done for Blockshot is actually insane. So if you want to hear more of Slama's music, I mean, more than half of everything on the Blockshot soundtrack minus 2 songs is them. So it's crazy. It's awesome. Let's go to Quebec Community. This is run by Canadian Flash. And it's one of those Discord servers where I don't really understand the purpose of it all that much. It just seems like something that's a way to bring together the community, which, is something to be said about that. But it's kind of like if High Potion wasn't botted. I don't see the use case for it. Now, this could just be because I don't know enough about it, because there's a lot of Discords out there for Hytale people. So I'm going to have to stick this in D tier. My recommendation for Quebec Community is to maybe even have a little YouTube thing going, maybe have some shtick, something that makes them different. But for right now, they're just another Discord that brings together Hytale people, which is, not a bad thing, but it doesn't have anything really going for it. So that's what I would put that as. Another one of these is Eagles of Orbis. I think they're actually a community that's meant to be invite only. They're not really that big. Honestly, I don't think they're a bad community. They're just something that's, not a lot of people know about it. So I'm going to put them in unknown. This is the first unknown. Again, I don't know what the purpose of their Discord is other than just being a bunch of friends together, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But they are very vocal when people don't include them in things that involve other communities. But the thing is, I don't see their goals. They could, of course, if anybody wants to, if any of these communities want to, specify what they're all about, they can totally do that in the comments. I won't delete comments or whatever. And again, unknown's not even a bad thing because it's technically not even a rating. It's just something where it's like, I have no idea what the purpose of this Discord is. But as time goes on, maybe I could change that. Same goes for this one. I think it's Elite Network. I have no idea, man. Sorry. And let's see. There's another one in here. Sacred Isles. I hear they're another network. They're very fast growing. From what I saw, they got like a ton of members in a very short amount of time. But I don't really know what they're all about just yet. I think they need a bit more time to develop before I can give them a fair rating, so unknown again. So let's talk about Hero Clash and Blue Wind. These are networks run by, Blue Wind is run by Fire, Hero Clash is run by Deck. They're both council members on the Blockshot team, just like Slama. And I think there's a lot of potential, and especially Hero Clash, because I already know exactly what the server's going to be about. It's going to be where, heroes fight each other. So, like Iron Man, Hulk, Thanos, Black Widow, all of that. I think it could be a really fun little niche server. It doesn't have to be all that big, but I think the quality is super important, and at least with the visuals, I mean, anyone that's seen anything that Deck's done would know, holy crap, the quality is like way up there. I just don't know how they're going to do with their website and development just yet. So for now, I'm going to put, I think the network's very young. It's very young. So it's probably a B or a C. And simply because, they just need time to grow, I think I'll put them at a B. Blue Wind by Fire, I have a bit less of an idea of what's happening here, but I hear it's a story-based thing. So it's a unique story, which is bold because, pre-existing characters are easy to make compared to something just making your own story. And I think that it's probably around the same tier because if you don't know, Fire is a very similar situation. Great at model making and art, but I don't know about development. I've seen Wix be thrown around with a website, which would make a lot of people cringe. But, again, too young to really say anything. Let's go to Hytale Hub. All right. These guys and the controversy. I am not bringing any of it up in this video, but it's there. Anyway, let's look at them objectively, shall we? Hytale Hub aims to be the hub for all things Hytale. Obviously, it's in the name. And they have a ton of websites, and they will provide plenty of services. For example, server hosting, checking name availability, server listing. There's a Hytale wiki. There's a whole bunch of websites, literally like 15 different websites, all that, you log into one of them, you're logged into all of them. They give the player-based services, but again, I have concerns regarding their direction and their attitude. I do think the content itself is great, although they could use a lot of PR work and just, shaking what's been happening. But I'll put them near Hytale News. I think these guys are going to be forever connected. So I'm putting them in the C tier as well. Let's go to Tenebrous. All right. Tenebrous is very similar to Canadian Flash and Entity of Sin, another commentary channel similar to me. Has a decent sized following, about the same as mine, and talks about Hytale stuff from time to time. He's big into anti-cheat on Hypixel, and he's very active in trying to get cheaters banned, trying to fix the server for anti-cheat purposes, and I think it's a great goal. But his Hytale efforts seem kind of, just kind of trying to get views, which again, there's nothing wrong with that because that's what I do, but I don't see what he can bring to the table that's as unique as some of these higher tier ones. So I would probably put him at a B or a C tier. I think a B tier would be fair. Kodiak from the Game Gurus. This channel is very similar to Horizon in the sense of really high quality uploads, except these guys do multiple games. So Hytale is only one of the games they do. If they only did Hytale, I would immediately throw them up at A tier, but they don't. They actually do plenty of other games, which is no problem, but it would flood your sub feed. And me personally, right, my use case for watching their videos is the Hytale stuff. But I wouldn't want to discourage them from doing other games. They get decent views on it, and I think they're a fast-growing channel. I've talked to Kodiak myself plenty of times. The guy's from TV. Like, he literally, worked on actual TV stuff before coming to YouTube, and I think it's really neat. But I don't know. I think he would probably be an A to a B tier. I think if this guy went full Hytale on release, or at least very frequent, he could be an S tier. But for now, I'm going to throw him at A tier. I think he's got awesome production quality. I think he brings up great questions. He's got a very active community. Controversy-free is just what you'd want from an A tier thing. Okay. Antvenom. All right. I see Antvenom in a very similar way to CaptainSparklez. Big channel. OG. Talks about stuff. Commentates. Antvenom, I would say, he has a different way of doing videos. He actually has other people write his scripts. He brings up a lot of questions that kind of obvious, at least in Minecraft. And I think his channel is oriented more towards kids. And, there's a good use case for it, but I don't know. Not quite to the quality of any of these, especially in Hytale. I think my recommendation to Antvenom, again, you have an obligation as a large content creator to help out those that are, not as fortunate. But I also think that it might be a good idea to write your own scripts, man. I don't know. I see something a little weird about that one because it's not even your words. You're just kind of speaking it. So I see Antvenom as a team more so than an individual. And since, the topics aren't all that great, kind of pulling at straws, I'm going to go for a C tier. I'm sorry, Antvenom, but Hytale Info. This is a subreddit that I frequent, and it has a rocky past as well that's somewhat connected to the drama with these two and me, because I think as repercussions for what happened with these guys, all the other creators kind of suffered. But that's not Hytale Info's fault. I think it's a valuable thing to have because Reddit is the voice of the people. It's brutally honest. They're not afraid to criticize you, and that makes you better. And I think it's something that all of these communities could benefit from, is to be active on the subreddit and to throw their content out there. And if it sucks, they're gonna know. And if it's great, they're gonna know. So I think it's a great thing to have. I don't know if it's going to get replaced by an official subreddit, but it is definitely a great resource. So, I'd either put it at an A or B tier. I think since it's the one and only Reddit that I go on, and the other Reddits are basically non-existent, they also have a monopoly. It's kind of just it could be up here too. Could be. You know what? I'm going to put it S tier because here's the thing, right? Hytale Info could be a great place for the community to chill out. They might not do much on their own, but the people that are there are great. And even in the complete lack of an environment for like blog posts, people are still making observations about the Twitter posts. They're still making theories. They're a great source for people that make content. I do think they're a great place to be. And again, I have a rocky past with them, but that's since gotten better. I think people are way more accepting of me and people that try to make stuff for Hytale before the game comes out. So I would put them at an S tier. Log.zip. Very similar to Antvenom. Commentary, oriented towards kids. Video topics that are And I know this dude's backstory a little bit. He's got some things going on that makes me feel sad to rate him lowly, but at the same time, the quality is the quality. I do think, again, he's got like a team going for him. He's got that obligation to help out the smaller creators in the Hytale community. I think it would probably be C tier. It's just, I think, I don't know, man. It makes me feel bad to put these two here, but at the same time, I just, I can't put them higher. Livid Lion, I actually did a talk with him regarding Hytale, and Quebec Corner and Kodiak from the Game Gurus. This guy's more active on the Reddit. I don't know what happened to Quebec Corner. He kind of just disappeared for me, so I didn't even put him on the list. But Livid Lion has some interesting video ideas, and I think has the potential, just like these guys, to grow to be a bigger channel. So I think that's an easy B tier. Stolendale. So Stolendale's an interesting one out of all of these because this is the only organization out of this entire list to supply an actual product. They make physical stuff, and they want to make a card game and a story-based server, have a lot of RPG elements. I think it's really cool. The idea is really neat. They actually have a lot of staff. I did an interview with them recently with Jim from Stolendale, and they got to meet the actual Hytale staff. They have the support of the staff. I think it's great, honestly. I think it'll be a fun place for people to chill out once the game comes out, so I think A tier. High Trade. This is linked with the controversy between these two again. These guys are meant to be a marketplace. I don't know. It's been around since the first few days of Hytale being a thing. Similar to these guys, but again, I don't know. This might be something that gets completely overwritten by the game itself, and it's not quite as much infrastructure as Hytale Hub, so I think it might have to be a D tier. Whichever one of these turns out on top, they will be the one to get my praise. But for now, I think I'm going to leave that there. My recommendation, I guess, I don't think I have any because we can't really see what they have until the game comes out, to be honest. Not going to lie, this dude has a lot of subs. I really don't like him. My first impression of him, clickbait. I saw him talk about the model maker and said, or he talked about, what was it, Craft Studio, and straight up said it was the model maker. A lot of people like him, though. I personally really don't like this guy that much. I'm going to throw him here. Yeah. Okay. Hytale Brazil. These guys, I'm going to be honest, I don't know a heck of a lot about them, but they are a very large community. And I think whoever is friends with these guys are going to be very powerful in the future because it's an untapped market. They have a monopoly, basically. They are the place to go if you speak Spanish and are a fan of Hytale. And there's something to be said about that. It's another commentary channel just like the rest. I think they have awesome potential, and I'm excited to see what comes from them. I think an easy B tier. Not quite an A tier because they're not... I don't know if they're going to expand into something like a server network. If they are, I apologize. But even then, I just see them as a great place for everybody to interconnect and to, grow a very large community in the future. All right, so now, everything Hytale. These guys are very similar to... They're very similar to the HighCast, except they're not a podcast. They're a YouTube channel. And they interview people just like HighCast does. It's honestly very similar. I think they have... the thing is, there's probably going to be a lot of this going on between HighCast, between Hytale News, between me, Canadian Flash, Kodiak. It's another one of those channels. I happily would give them advice on video quality. I just think they need to make something their niche. So I think for now, probably C tier. So, look at this bell curve. This is actually pretty reminiscent of how stats usually work, if you think about it. There's not a heck of a lot of S or F tiers, but there's a lot in between, and it's a nice little spectrum here. So, you might notice I've left my stuff for last. My personal channel, ThirtyVirus, where I talk about Hytale stuff, where I'm posting this video right now. The Blockshot Network, which is a shooter game that has some of the most talented people in the Hytale space right now working on it. And Button Press Studios, which is the company that owns Blockshot, which I own as well. So it's not like I have to listen to Button Press because I am Button Press. So I don't think it would be fair for me to rank myself officially in this video. So that's where I ask you guys, where do you think I fall on the scale with any of these projects? Of course, I'll give my opinion, but I think this is where the bias begins. So this is my official ranking for everybody else. Take that as you will. Leave the video if you'd like. But, I don't like to rank myself simply because I don't want to make it seem like I think I'm better than anybody else. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, all right? I would highly recommend you guys download this tier list and make your own to show me. But I think it'd be fair to put me along with Tenebrous, along with Canadian Flash. I'm not an A tier, I don't think. I do have connections with staff. I have confirmed that they've commented on my videos. They're watching the videos. I think I might have added a couple months to the development time of Hytale with my suggestions. Some people might hate on me for that, but it makes a better game. So I don't know. I think I would be a B tier. Not quite an A tier simply because my videos could use an increase in quality, but I do bring up interesting topics and all that. But yeah, that's where I would put myself. Blockshot. I think A tier simply because there just aren't any other shooter networks planned that I know of right now. And we have Slama, we have Deck, we have Fire, we have Powered Byte 7. We have a crazy amount of people behind the project. There's almost 1,000 people subscribed to the YouTube channel and the Discord. And it's all organically grown. It didn't get shouted out by anybody. It didn't get put on YouTube gamers on the rise. We have no controversy. I have controversy, but Button Press doesn't have controversy because, you know, anytime I talk about things like this, it is me, not Blockshot. Anyway, Button Press owns Blockshot. I think it has great potential overall, but not for Hytale. Just because it's going to own the Blockshot network, so it's probably going to be something like a D tier. So that's my official list. There you go. Again, these three, take with a grain of salt because there's bias since I own these things. I think this has great potential, but just not in Hytale. Again, I don't think it's like actually a D tier overall, but just in the Hytale space is D tier. So, what do you guys think? That's my official list. I think it might be time to move things around. I'm tempted to put Slama at S tier simply because there's not a lot of content there, but it's just so good. You know what? Yeah, Thomas Frick officially endorsed it too, which is pretty cool. I think Slama deserves S tier. Here's the thing about these guys. Unoriginal. They aren't really all that known. Even though they are OG, they're not original ideas. I think these are the guys that are going to get phased out if they don't change what they're doing. So you know what? Yeah. I think maybe Entity of Sin put down a little bit because it's not quite the quality of like Tenebrous or Canadian Flash. So I'm not gonna mention me in relation to these guys, but I think yeah. The same advice still applies though. All right, there. That's my official tier list. What do you guys think? Is it fair? I don't like putting myself on a scale, but I think I'm being kind of fair about it. Well, anyway, make sure to check this out in the description down below if you want to make your own tier list. And on Twitter, you should send me your opinions on what just happened. Yeah, I think it's a pretty fair list. Well, anyway, leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. It's probably really, really long. I'm going to see if I can edit it down to less than 20 minutes. We will see. But for now, I think that's it. Oh, if you'd like to join my Discords, I have the 30virus botnet and the Blockshot network, and there's also a Button Press Discord, but you know, a lot of people there. Links will be in the pinned comment down below if you'd want to join that. Well, anyway, that is it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.